I sailed across the sea to see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
I don't care about these things. We can always change it, man.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
there's something going on there. Yeah, there's something happening on YouTube. It says 127. Hi, hey, welcome. Welcome. No, are we live here now?
Yes.
Okay, let's check. Live would be good if it was. Not on Facebook yet.
All right, hello, YouTube, going to the recovery room. Happy Monday, everybody.
Hi guys, how you doing?
How we
On
doing?
your YouTube followers, we're still not live on Facebook, Don.
All
And these are
right,
the growing pains, guys. You guys just hang with us and stick with us. We'll get it all right. How you like our new black background?
Ooh, good thing.
Pretty nice, huh?
It is.
We popping. We popping now. We live and popping.
Live and popping.
Hey, for you guys that are there on the YouTube page, welcome to the recovery room. It is Monday, the 27th of
January.
January, and this month is almost gone, and it's only 12 of them in the year, and so it's kind of like they kind of speed by, and so there's no sitting around to rest. You know what I mean? It's you gotta get her done, because the year will get away from you. You'll be doing New Year's again before you know it.
That's for real. I think that always comes so fast. The whole year comes across. And I was like, I swear we were at like Thanksgiving. Now I'm thinking like Easter and like spring and church and
Valentine's Day is coming up,
There you
and
go. That's already the card's already out for that.
and
Yeah.
for a lot of people, that's another like a trigger point for them to go ahead and use or drink or whatever.
Of course.
Yeah.
Not wonder. Nobody wants to be like, I said I want to be alone.
Hey, well, listen, guys. Here's the news. Taco Tuesday falls on Cinco de Mayo this year. Yeah, we've been practicing the tacos.
I was
Practicing the tacos. But yeah, Cinco de Mayo is.
I know I don't have to cook on Tuesdays because I know
on
it's Taco
Tuesday.
Day.
Yeah. Donnie, you still trying to connect to Facebook?
Any more than I think I already have.
I mean, because you haven't. Whatever you did before, you need to do again. That would be awesome.
I routed everyone from Facebook to
Yeah.
YouTube.
Did you tell them to go to the recovery
Go
room?
to the recovery room.
All right, so
Can you see Facebook on there? We can't see
this is
comments.
the recovery room, and
Welcome.
we talk about things recovery. We talk about things prevention. We talk about things treatment. We talk about things wellness. We just talk about things.
We talk about God,
We talk
everything.
about just a little bit of everything.
Serenity.
Speaking about talking to everybody, what's the number for them to call us on?
If you're calling, if you'd like to call in, we're having a little delay. The number's 941-201-5226.
We talk about things
The number here is 201, that's 941-201-5226.
We can hear you clearly through our
Okay, sorry. Look at that. Hey guys, that's your me and the thing there.
He just likes seeing them.
I like seeing and hearing myself.
As you guys can tell, we're still working out some of the kinks we have here. But
Yeah, it takes a
those of
while.
you who don't know me for the new off of YouTube, my name is Sean. Myself, I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. I'm terminally ill with a super rare liver disease. Had to have my liver bypassed, and the doctors say my next breath can be my last breath. They're still surprised I'm here. About half a year ago, they told me make my call, say my goodbyes to everybody, and I'm still here.
Yeah, yeah. So there go the gatekeepers for all you people that says, the doctor says, well, you've got 6 months to live. They don't know. I mean, and matter of fact, how do they know that? You could walk outside and get hit upside the head with
a lizard can fall because it's frozen. It's in the head. And
and stick you in the eyeball.
Bulldozer.
Yeah,
You
or a
run into the
bulldozer can hit
bulldozer
you in
or
the head.
something, hit you in the head. I mean, nobody has that right. Nobody has the key.
No.
Nobody has any knowledge as to that. But the reality of what Sean is saying, and let's keeping it real. He does need a liver. I mean, and it's as simple as that. And one of the great parts about this whole drug overdose epidemic that we're going through in this country is that there's more organs available. Sad, man.
And that was
It's
said
sad.
to be funny.
And that was backwards, like for real, like really. That's it's
fact of how
If-
sad
if-
that
if-
is.
Everybody who's out here watching, if you're not a donor, I mean, you could change someone's life.
Yeah, just
You know.
changing on your license or your ID or whatever it is you got to do it on and let them know that you are a donor. Because there's somebody you can keep alive, and we're trying desperately here to do that for Sean. Because again, the reality of the situation is that the body wasn't designed to function.
If I had one worth giving
Yeah,
you,
me too. I
you
kick
can
one
have
out right.
mine.
I kick one out right away. I mean, and in fact, the kidneys you can do that. And I want to give a shout out to my cousin who donated a kidney to his wife and kept her alive. And that
Wow,
was
that's awesome.
that's an awesome
So she
thing.
appreciated that.
Yeah, that's real love.
So if they
That's
get
a real
divorced, what I'm
Yeah,
getting,
give me back,
give me this kidney back.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. I don't think there's divorce in that future.
Not that I'm wishing that up on anybody.
Yeah, no, but just really, I
Yeah.
think they got to be pretty close. They're really close
That's
now.
my love right there.
Yeah, no, you're just a part of me. It's just really, yeah,
You came around a part of me.
yeah, just another part of me. That's for real. And so anyway, if you have not joined the Recovery Room page yet, please do go to the Recovery Room on Facebook and type it in the search thing, and we'll come up. I don't think there's another one out there, but if it is, it's the one
There's
that
a
we
couple.
have.
Yes.
If the recovery room you're looking for has the recovery room's emblem, the bed with the round head dude in it.
Black background with the white polka dots. And
Yeah.
Looking.
Yeah, so that's the one you look for. Join it, and because a lot of good stuff is being posted on there. I don't know, some tragic stuff as well, but it's all designed to give us a clearer picture of what the face of this epidemic. We've recently had Dora join us.
And we have another one here from Hi Paulette. She put it was off the faces of opioids in stories. This is her daughter Madison, her boyfriend Anthony.
Both
His
of 'em.
mother posted this picture today and it broke me. He died of a heroin overdose 12/8/18 at the age of 22. My daughter, my beautiful Maddie, died of a heroin overdose 10/2/19. She was 20 years old. How could this happen again? Why wasn't this death her wake-up call? We tried so hard to save her. And what kills me about that is that I have people come to me and have constantly been like, you are not invincible. You may have survived this once or twice or done this or whatever before, but you are not invincible. And I'll try to, if you have, it's on the Recovery Room page, and it's also on the Faces of Opioids.
Yeah, and there's some
story.
comments, on there that
And
are
it's
coming from the
just-
heart, and that's and actually there's another one. I'm sharing these posts off of opioid stories or whatever. They got a really great
Faces
page,
of
the Faces of
Opioids, yeah.
Opioids, and so there's a group, and so I'm sharing them so that we can get them out to a lot more people.
Speaking of that, actually, I sent it to both of you guys today. I'm not sure if you guys had a chance to read it. The study came out saying in 2018 that their numbers were off, that the government released.
I posted that on there.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah, I forwarded it.
Because in 2018, I think they said that only 60, I say only, one is too many.
Yeah.
But 60,000 people had passed
Yeah,
from
we don't
overdosing,
put it on.
and now they're saying it's closer to maybe 160, could even be 180.
Yeah. I mean, there's some that obviously go uncounted. You know
Right.
what I mean? There's some people that die and they don't even get to a medical examination or whatever. You know.
And people could say what they want to about Trump, but I am happy that he donated his paycheck to help out for the epidemic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean the whole Trump thing is that he's a man,
Right.
you know what I mean, and he's been put into it's a job, it's the most thankless job. Why anybody
It's
would
the
ever
most
want
hated person, day one, boom.
Yeah.
We hate
Why
you,
anybody would
you
want
know?
the job in the first place? Yeah, he's done some great stuff. He's just done some stuff that, from a moral and whatever standpoint, that some Americans don't
I'm
agree
just
with.
happy that the word's getting out there. I don't care how the word gets out there.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Yeah, just stop, please.
You know?
And there was another question on there today about, is it better to go cold turkey or to taper off or whatever the case might be. And see, the thing about the whole experience is that nothing works for everybody. You know what I mean? And so somebody can give you some advice, and like I said, because I said, do you go cold turkey or do you taper off? And I'm a cold turkey person because that's what I did. But again, the drugs are so much different today than when I did it, because I mean these days you can try to get off of it and then have a seizure or something, and
that's what happened to me. That's why it scares me to death. And now I'm definitely a taper offer, because I mean, I didn't even realize, even just from alcohol, that I'd have withdrawal seizures from that. So the first one I had scared the crap out of me. Well, you too. And, it then just go, so I'm scared to go cold turkey, and I want to do the tapering, but sometimes that gets prolonged, then you just never really stop.
Really, and that's why I say cold turkey, get it over with, and face it. I mean, again, that's from old soldier like me. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody. You know what I mean? And it sucked.
I mean, I've gone cold
It really
turkey so many times, unfortunately, that I've been there and done that, and of course it's doable, but god damn, it's miserable. So somebody had asked us on our page about the Sublocade, just like the Suboxone, Sublocade or Sublocade, I don't know how it's necessarily pronounced, but it is the newest medically assisted treatment drug on the market. It is a opioid medication, sometimes called a narcotic. It's used to treat opiate addiction. It's not used for the pain medication part of it, but it is given to people who have started addiction treatment with oral forms such as Suboxone or Subutex. So Sublocade is available only after you've been on those. So I'm kind of unsure. I don't know exactly what it is. That's worth doing some research into, but it's another, to keep you off of. But the fact you have to have been on Subutex or Suboxone first is kind of strange.
Well, here's been the argument, and here's what side I stand on. So before I say this, so everybody knows, I stand on the side of people doing whatever it is they got to do to get off of the train that they've been on that is leading directly to death. Okay. But you see, part of the problem here is that the same guys who made the drugs that are causing this problem are the same guys that are making the drugs that are prolonging the problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how they could afford to go on their yachts and this and that and whatever else.
I mean, and then they're getting into treatment. You know what I mean?
But now they're even, excuse me, it's like they're extending it, because it's, once you've been on the Suboxone or Subutex, so what, you go for a run of that, and then
then you go into this, and it's just a thing.
Where's the end to it? When do you then taper off your MAT program?
It's when you're in your coffin. That's the end. That's the end game.
It's again they're different things for different people, guys, and that's the reality. I mean, if you can taper off and get off. Okay, that's one thing. But if your taper offing is taking you 2 years, you know what I mean?
Then you need to stand in front of the mirror and slap your face and go like, no.
Like, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe I should just try it, because you want to get to where you have your life back. Yeah, I know. and there's probably not going to be any tonight. I'm not going to worry about it. We'll put this up, and we can talk about it. Hold on, Facebook people. We got a conflict here with the YouTube people. We got a conflict here with the Facebook people. We're gonna try to figure it out real quick. Because we know we're all about peace and pleasantness around here. We want everybody to be happy, knowing full well that you can't make everybody happy, but doggone it, you can try.
Hey, every accomplishment and achievement started with a try.
Last night, I had a friend of mine sent me a private message to my personal Facebook account. His life was just getting her down, everything else, and she was like, well, luckily my prescription just got refilled, and she wanted to just take a bunch of pills, get in the bathtub, and
could you guys come in closer?
Just was just giving up on life and everything else, and all the pain that she was going through, and then another friend of mine called and did the same thing, and
it's not running. I'll wait till you get
people
back.
Haven't told you, we love you guys.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, love you, like all kinds of love.
When you think that no one out there loves you, they do. Like my dog loves barking, you know.
He just wants us to know she's doing her job.
And both people I talked to last night were like, no one loves me, nobody cares. I'm like, look, I said, you got all this going for you, etc. And then I was a little cold and I was a little harsh. I admit it. I asked one of them, I said, well, hey, what's your blood type? They're like, what? I said, well, if you can off yourself, can I have your liver?
No.
And it made them mad. I said, you mad? You pissed off now? They're like, yeah. I said, well, good. They're like, why? I go, because that means you do care. And they were like, oh.
Yeah, there are some feelings in there.
And then they sent me a message today, hey, thanks for reaching out. And I'm like,
hey, listen, you know what, Sean? Some people some people have to be shaken up. Some people have to be, a little disturbed or put off, because some people don't respond to, oh, I love you. Right. Some people got to have their butts kicked. I mean, this is what we're dealing with, people. We're dealing with people. We're dealing with people, and there's all kinds of ways to view things, and there's all kinds of ways to do things. What they used to say, always say, there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Still tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Ass. No, let me not go there. But it's gonna take us all. This is the one thing that we know. It's gonna take all of us. It's gonna take all of our individual skills and talents, all of our individual compassion and love and strength and hope and courage and all of those things. It's gonna take all of that from all of us. And what you have the most of is what we're gonna need you to give. It's what we really need you to give, okay? Because there's somebody out there that needs it. And there was a little quote again that came up, because this one comes up all the time. It's like, don't not do something good for somebody. Don't not, double negative. Don't not do something good for somebody, because you are being the answer to someone's prayer, because God works through people. And so if you see somebody in need and you are blessed enough to have enough to share, then don't miss that opportunity.
Earlier today, I was reading this article, and something I've never even thought of was that with all the animals that had gotten injured in Africa with Australia, with all the fires, everything else, they were asking people to bring their dogs in so their dogs could donate blood for the dogs over there that survived. Something I would never even think of, and I was like, wow. Yeah. So now I'm going to try to see if I could bring my dog in, have my dog donate some blood. Give some blood. I mean, it's, Do
you know how many millions of animals perished? Millions. And you see, this is the problem that we have in this life. See, we walk around and mess around and act like, nothing's ever going to happen. It's always going to be good. Life's just always going to be, you're always going to have your little car car and your little house, and it's not going to be underwater, or it's not going to be shaken down by some kind of earthquake, or it's not going to be a fire is not going to affect you. The plane's not going to go down. Look, Kobe Bryant is gone now and everybody's like, oh my God, it's Kobe. And for a minute they weren't even talking about the 8 other people that were on the doggone helicopter.
One whole family got wiped out.
One whole family, father and daughter
and wife
and wife all got in that plane, in that airplane. But see, the thing is that we expect it all to work. It's just like this whole YouTube and Facebook and all that. It's not working, or it's moving slow, or what I mean? It's like we're just so spoiled. We're just so spoiled these days. I mean, and the reality of the situation is that we've got to wake up to what the real good stuff is. We're squandering so many times, stuck behind some kind of screen or something. When there's human touch and human needs that are going unmet. And it's only us that are going to be able to do it. And so it's time to stand up, man. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for just anything. You know what I mean? And so it's time to stand up and be counted for. I just said to somebody that I predicted a long time ago, and I still predict today that the recovering addict is going to be one of the most powerful voices in America in just a short period of time, because see, out there, you don't know what it takes, and we've had in this conversation, what it takes to get off of this crap. And if you're able to do that, then you're just about able to do anything in this life. You know that you can just about do anything. Okay, and so I'm predicting this revival of the human spirit. I'm predicting, the addicts are going to rise up like Lazarus and Jesus and all the rest of the people that came back from the grave, and have a voice, because you don't come out of the gallows into a good life and not be a voice to be reckoned with, a force to be reckoned with.
You're not here to be mediocre.
No, you're not here to be mediocre. And so today's topic, if you were to have gone on the recovery room, if you're a recovery room in our family, a member, today's topic, which we post every day, so that's why we ask that you'll go and that you'll join the page such that you'll be able to see this, the activities, because we made it a private group because some people were concerned about their anonymity, and that makes absolute sense to me. And so we made it a private group, but there's still a lot of great stuff going on in it. And today's topic was happiness happens.
What does that mean to you?
What does that mean to you? Happiness happens. Well, what we know is that there's a key. There's always what they used to call them in school, root words. The root word here is hap.
Root word or the
happen, happy. You're happy when the stuff that you like happens.
Like I open the freezer, I see chocolate ice cream, I'm like,
happy.
Woo!
Yeah.
I do get sad when I open the freezer. There's no chocolate ice cream.
That's what see it happens. What happened? It's what happens. That is what happens. That we've been programmed to determine our happiness, but it's not really that way. You determine your happiness in your brain, because if you go there and there's no ice cream, your first reaction would be, I need more ice cream. That's what it just should be. Oh, gotta get more ice cream.
No, it's get more ice cream and hide the ice cream.
Yeah, hide the ice cream. So
My thought right now is I just remember we got ice cream.
Yeah. This is like a moot point.
I gotta go.
Moot. But yes, what happens is what has determined our happiness, and that's just not how it should be. Your happiness should be determined by you determining that you're going to be happy regardless of what happens. Regardless, because stuff happens. Happiness happens when you decide to. You know, when you decide to get off the pour me another drink or pour me give me another pill or another eclair or I got to go and race the dogs and all these things that are things that are causing you grief, and they're not sources of pleasantness, because when you lose at the track, man, you want to go and hurt everybody. You got to go home and tell your wife that you lost all the rent money that you was trying to make. I'm going to double up.
People don't play
No,
the grief.
man.
No, sobriety was not just from drugs and alcohol. It detox from anger, fear, resentment, and hate.
And
that
people.
comes with a whole lot more. And that comes with, if you can trust a puzzle company to make sure every piece in the box is there to complete a puzzle, you can trust that God has every piece of your life in order for a reason. So if you're going to sit back and trust anything,
But
that makes some
specifically
sense right there.
specifically what she said
How
is
much
that
time do you
the
put
pieces
together?
are there.
The pieces are there.
That is specifically the point. The pieces are
They're in
there.
the box.
But you've got to put the puzzle together. And how you put your puzzle together? I used to be the border kind of guy. I start with the border. I know some people that start in the middle. I don't know how they did that. But I'm the border kind of guy. How you put your puzzle together? If the pieces are there, you can put the puzzle together. And that's what our lives are. Our lives are like this quilt, right? We got all these pieces, and separately they just don't seem to go together and make any sense. But when you get them little old ladies, and they know how to just put a quilt together just right, and with the stitches and all that just right, man, it becomes this beautiful thing that you just want to lay under and call your own. My binky.
I want to snuggle with it.
I'm gonna snuggle with my
Snuggle
binky.
with my binky.
So that's our lives. So let's put it together where we can snuggle with it. Snuggle with your own
Actions.
life.
And actions, your actions prove it all.
Man, I mean, I don't know. I hate to try to make it seem like it's easy. It's not easy, but it's simple. You know, it's simple, because what you simply have to do is make up your mind. You got to make a decision, because no decision is a decision.
It's a choice.
You know what I mean?
Your
And so,
apology needs to be louder than your disrespect was.
oh man. Oh, you're talking about disrespect. This is what somebody said, and I kind of, we kind of went around about that post about the woman losing her daughter. One of the guys said that something about, well, she was grieving and wanted to die. These is kind of statements people are making, and then somebody was like, oh, she did it to hurt you. It's something weird. I mean, see, people say the weirdest things. It is a very selfish disease, but it is the potency of the addictive properties of these drugs these days are 100 times worse than they've ever been. And they are designed specifically to kill. They talk about it's to kill pain.
It's only pain.
Yeah, that's what Sean would say. It's only pain, and a whole lot more people might need to get on that train, because for some people, it becomes a death. It becomes death. The pain, you see, because it all starts with pain somewhere, right? And whether it's a pain from a childhood trauma, pain from an accident, whatever the source of the pain is, the root of it is pain. And so, and then once we get to the point where we've dealt with the pain and we've recognized that was yesterday, is not with you today, it was an experience that was really outside of yourself, because that's how this world really works. You didn't do it. That's what we end up doing so much, is taking on in the guilt, thinking that, oh, I did this. I allowed this to happen.
Just don't. And a lot of the times, once you return to an environment that makes you feel that way, you have to keep in mind the damage that it did, and your determination during the duration of time you went through that.
Mm-hmm.
I had
It makes for a full around. I mean, that's an emotional process.
when I was living in Gainesville, this one guy who was actually my roommate 4 different times. And like a lot of days I was like, if it was colder, it was slower for me to get out of bed, for me breaking my back and breaking my neck and everything else. And he was doing some oil rigging up in South Dakota. He fell, his harness failed, and he broke his back and broke his neck. and I was one of the first people he called. He's like, "Oh my God, how did she deal with all this pain?" And I was like, "Dude, it's only pain, and there's nothing you can do for it. It's not going to go away. You're not going to press the little magic button, and the pill. It's not going to work. Just deal with it." And he was apologizing, going like, "I had no idea. You just go about your day doing your stuff, and you know." He goes, "I was telling everybody, I heard, ah. You know." I was like, "Put your big britches on, Sally." You know?
Yeah,
You know, that's life. You know,
that life.
I mean,
it is.
we're all going through different things in our lives that aren't easy. You know, just don't use the drug as your crutch. Don't use the bottle as your crutch. You know. What you got there, bro?
God didn't promise days without pain, laughter without sorrow, nor sun without rain, but he did promise strength for the day, comfort for the tears, and life for the way. And you say it's only pain. You aren't guaranteed not to have them, but you're guaranteed to be able to deal with them, and just dealing with them in the right way is what's the hardest, but the best ever feeling in the long run.
What
Sometimes it
was
takes a
Dawn's
minute for
statement
them.
yesterday that was really awesome? She says, "I'm not happy all day, but I'm happy every day about something."
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Dawn.
Shout out
we
to
need
Dawn
that
and
one.
Brady
Yeah, Dawn and
at
Brady at 421.
421.
Our sponsors here. You read my mind. I was going to read our sponsors. Our new sponsors here at the Recovery Room are 421 Sweet Treats out on Anna Marie Island. P.O. Warriors, our company here, right here in beautiful, sunny Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, and Hammock Haven. Hey, chillax a minute. Their statements were kind of really cool. They rent hammocks. It's really cool. So we got 3 sponsors. We have some more coming on. Things are moving along. But the one thing that you can count on is that we're gonna be here. Somebody's gonna be here next week. I understand that Dora and Sean are gonna be doing the show while Christy and I are away. Yeah.
You guys will have fun with that.
Yeah, he
I
got
can't
really all
wait to
excited about
watch.
that.
I can't wait to watch it. Well, I can't wait to be away with you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Both.
little bit of both.
With both.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Exciting.
But yeah, you know, and that's one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot. It's like, you know, this was just inspiration, and to think that going on 3 years later, you know, we're still here, and the family's growing, and the viewership is growing, and people are
Hey,
getting,
George.
hey George, and people are getting some answers. People are connecting. I mean, that's one of the real things, you know.
That
People are
is
connecting.
That's
We've
what
got
we
some
all want you
people
all to do.
that have met here, and that's been kind of cool. We had the recovery dating room service. Yeah.
That's 1-800. No.
Yeah. But the real number is, if there's something that you want to talk about, that, you know, if you hear anything, or if you got something on your heart, and or you got an
You
experience
want us
that
to
you've
talk
had,
about something.
you know, there's
Got
something
a
you want us
question.
to share, call in, and we'll put you live. We'll put you on speaker or whatever. And you know, the number is 941-201-5226. 941-201-5226.
And even if the show's not on then, and it's midnight or whatever you just want
Yeah.
to talk to,
Yeah.
call that
Still
phone.
call.
Yeah,
Call the phone.
That's
We're
the
here.
That's the Recovery Room
Eeny,
hotline.
meeny, miny.
Help
You'll get
line.
one of us.
Yeah,
And
that's
we'd
the
be more than happy to
helpline.
be here
We
for you.
definitely talk. I mean, one thing we do, boy, we know how to talk.
Yeah. Some of us more than others, but just saying.
Yeah,
It's all good
that's
though,
true.
'cause I
That's true. Well, you know, again, I just skimmed over it, but condolences to the families of the people that were lost on that helicopter. It's a real tragedy, you know. And you know, and that's one of those things, you know, we got to get where we're going to get. Oh, well, no, let's take the helicopter, even though the weather's bad, and you know, because we got to get there, you know, instead of being a little late or whatever, you know. Sometimes people, we got to slow down,
And
you know.
I just saw also there was a helicopter with 30 Marines on it, the helicopter had a malfunction, went down, and they all perished.
This was today.
I saw it this morning about 5 a.m. And
The fact of the matter, people, is that 100% of us, and it doesn't matter when it is, 100% of us are going to be going back to dust. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It doesn't matter. I personally want to be a good-looking corpse. That's just my preference.
We all know where we're going. Just
Yeah.
whether like you own it.
Well, you see, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody really wants to die. You know what I mean? And so I suggest, and this is just my suggestion, I suggest that you find yourself a little piece of heaven right here on earth.
And via recovery didn't open the gates of heaven and let me in. Recovery opened the gates of hell and let me out.
Woo!
Let me out.
Out?
Get out.
Yeah. Resurrected.
No more.
Redeemed. Postscript, baby. That part of that chapter, we're through that chapter. We're moving on to another chapter. We're making a decision that we're going to be meaningful specifics as opposed to being wandering generalities.
What he said.
Hey, listen, there's something that you do as good or better than anybody else on the planet. Okay, and what the biggest crime or the biggest sin or whatever you want to call it that could ever be committed is that you do not hone that passion. You do not hone that skill. You do not use that gift. You don't share that talent with the world. That's
selfish.
That's selfish. That's just, it doesn't make any sense. And so I say that you find yourself a little bit of happiness here on the planet. You know what that looks like to me? That is a good, firm, loving relationship with yourself. First and foremost, just like when the plane goes down, they tell you to put the mask on yourself first. Same thing applies here. I'm not talking about some selfish me stuff. I'm talking about getting this in order first, getting your mind together, getting your emotions together, getting your spirit together, getting your energy level together, such that when you go out there and you put out these waves that we put out that we don't even recognize that we put out, we'll accept it that, a radio in a car can receive a wave out of the sky, and if you just tune it in right, you can hear it. It makes sense. But we don't accept the fact that we've got these transmitters as well and receivers, and if we just put all of our things and get our frequency right, the way you get that, you got that tuning fish, it goes doom. Get that right pitch and that right tone. Man, you're powerful. You're powerful beyond measure. You are then in heaven. If you get yourself a good relationship with a higher power, something that you call God, and which can conceivably be just good, orderly direction.
Because if you think too much and too hard without Him, it's a dangerous combination.
You got to put them all together, man. This is your place. This is your space. You've been given this thing. You got a rental. You got a leasing agreement with the Creator.
Technology has come so far, and just even like the past 6 months, I was showing there's now contact lenses that can replace your cell phone. You put it in there, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you can see who's calling and all of that.
As T talks about
contacts, I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, I was like, no, I guess I don't even talk to anybody then.
Yeah.
But as T was saying that your body is unique, whatever else, we're one of a kind of sort of thing. All these scientists they've been trying to have these artificial intelligent robots. Still can't do it because there's only one of you.
Yeah. Yeah, one of you. You're like a snowflake or sand, a grain of sand. Not one ever exactly alike. And that's the reality of you. And so you've been created to do great stuff. And you know, our biggest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our biggest fear is that we're powerful. And then you mean that I gotta put down the eclair? I gotta put down the video game? You mean I gotta put down the drugs? You mean I gotta put down the alcohol? You mean I gotta put me back together? And that sounds like a work.
You got your own different pieces too. I need a new puzzle box.
Sounds like work. That's the problem. It sounds like work.
I have a 10-piece puzzle, not a 200-piece puzzle.
It sounds like work. That's the problem.
Have you guys ever tried those 3D puzzles? Don't. Don't.
Yes,
I tried. I was like, what?
Did Transformers when Drew
I'm
was a
like,
baby.
what person thought of this? This is just torture. You know, it's like.
Yeah, there you go. That's what invented was thinking. I was like, oh, I know how to get him.
Just keep everybody off your triggers.
Like I thought
Triggers
playing
down.
like the 4-level like 3-level chess
Yeah.
was difficult.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. That 3-level chess. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They also had it on Star Trek. Not that I'm a Trekkie, but yeah, I could do that too.
We'll give it two.
Nanu. Now I'm aging myself. Nanu.
For you YouTubers out there who are watching, you guys see that we try to make light of a very, very, very serious situation. You should enjoy yourself in life. I know. I mean,
know you can do it sober as well.
like I said before, the doctors can't believe I'm still here. I mean, I could, God forbid, this could be my last episode. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's get the
And
guy a liver.
I think I have an amazing positive attitude towards all this.
He does. This is true.
And
so should you. And so should you. I mean, just take Kobe's passing. Just take Sean sitting here, and you got all your organs are working and all your stuff is functioning, but you're ruining it. You're ruining it. Your body was not meant to inject these synthetic drugs, man. They're synthetic. Your body wasn't meant. So you know what? So about 4 hours after you eat a banana, it becomes you. You break it down, you digest it, and it comes into your system and builds part of your body. These drugs do the same thing. They find places and they have no business being there, especially in the brain. And so we're not meant to do it, guys. And I want you to know that this life is short, and I want you to have a period of it where you're living a peaceful, where you're living a pleasant, when you're living a life that is your authentic self. That you can look in the mirror and say, oh my God, man, I really got through that. Yes, you can really get through it. You really can. And when you do, you're going to be so happy that you did. I'm reaching out to everybody, but I know that there's just a few people who really hear me. And I know that you're really wanting, you're really longing, you're really hoping that there is another side, that there is an opportunity to get off of this gerbil wheel, this imprisonment, slavery called addiction. It runs your life. Man, there's so much to do. I mean, right now we're doing so much. About 8 o'clock, I'm dead tired, and I pass out, and then I get back up and start all over again, and at 1 in the morning, and go back to sleep and get back. I mean, because there's so much.
6:30 is our bedtime.
Oh my God! It's because there's so much going on, and there's not a whole lot of time to do it. And so I'm just hoping and praying that you guys. Oh, hey, Demetrius. Fast because people use stress, anxiety, unhappy, loneliness, and frustration. These words should be words that you know how you should have like Rain-X on about those words. Those words should those thoughts and those feelings and those words they should just flow off of you. You know what I mean? Not internalize it, but they should flow off of you. But we tend to take them and hold on to them for dear life, like our friends, and because we don't know, we haven't seen anything else. Most of the people we've been around, they take all their stuff and internalize it, and then they regurgitate it on to us through whatever means of being angry at us all the time and screaming and acting out and all of these things. That's what we've all grown up knowing, instead of somebody saying, don't worry, we'll fix it, it's going to be okay. That's the reality. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. What you're going through right now, you won't be going through that in a week. You'll be going through something else.
So these gut-wrenching emotions are only temporary. You only feel like you're dying inside for so
yeah.
It will go away.
It'll go away.
It will.
And so for the person that was asking whether I should taper off or cold turkey, hopefully eventually you'll be off of it and you won't have to think about that anymore. That's the thing I wanted to say. I'm so glad not to have to think about that anymore. Would that be awesome, to wake up and not to have to even think about it anymore? Man, I know that was the greatest part of me getting off of that crap. I don't have to. It's not a part of my thought process. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that it's not still in my brain, because it is. I have dreams and all kinds of stuff. That's just normal. But I don't have to figure out how I'm going to run out today, run down the dope boy or whatever, and run down the money. And then when I know it's going to run out, I'm already fearing it running out, because I know it's going to. That's craziness.
Yeah.
That's craziness. You don't have to live here. Well, same thing. You ain't got to be in the bar at 7 o'clock in the morning. You don't have to. Or 7 o'clock at night. There's churches, there's synagogues, there's gyms, there's so many. There's the mountains and the valleys, and
there's the sunrises.
There's sunrises and sunsets. There's so much beauty to be had that you're missing. Please.
This is true.
We're just asking you to consider giving up the dope. We had this saying, and I used to be a hopeless dope fiend, but now I'm a dopeless hope fiend. I got so much hope for you guys, and I pray for you all the time, because if I ever sit here and try to be anything other than a fellow addict, I don't want to talk down to nobody or anything like that, because we're all in the same boat. One hit and I'm gone, baby. One hit and I'm gone. All the years are gone. It don't matter. I'm back down into what I've seen, because the time that I have gone back before, I come back 3 times worse than I was when I left. What kind of shit? I'm scary. Because I was pretty doggone bad when I left.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping and I'm praying that if you're actively involved, start training your mind. Your mind is like any other muscle. You got to do some calisthenics. You know what I mean? You got to exercise that thing. It's what you put in. Like Demetrius. When people hold on to frustration and stress and anger and resentment and all that, it's like taking it's like ingesting the poison and thinking that the people outside of you gonna die.
Not healthy.
You're the one that's being affected. Get over it. It ain't easy, but it's simple, and you got to start doing it. It's the reality. We did a topic the other day, was I'm only human, and I think that's the problem these days. I think that we're selling ourselves short. There's no such thing as only human. This thing is amazing. It's the most amazing thing that's ever been created in the history of the world. And if we came from monkeys, and good God, how far we've come. But some people still monkeying around out there. This is no time for foolishness. This is the largest medical emergency in the history of the world. It knocks out polio and measles and smallpox and all the rest of them. And right now, it is so powerful that it has affected our mortality rate. It has affected the length of time that people live. It has affected those 19 to 54 more than any other group of people on the planet. And that's the whole middle part. That's the whole productive part of our lives. 19 to 54, that's when you're doing your thing.
Supposed to be.
Supposed to be. But more often than not, people are somewhere trying to figure out how to get off of some drugs or something.
So I'll be 54 in April. Does that mean that
You said you beat,
if I make it that far?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You beat the
So does that
odds.
mean that
You beat the odds.
smooth sailing? Yeah, I guess. Not like they did with the
Yeah.
Vikings.
It's even like weed. To be honest with you, like weed. Like this dude, the running back. What's his name? Gordon or whatever. He's making millions of dollars, but he can't stop smoking blunts, and he gets caught all the time. So you're gonna give up millions of dollars for a blunt? It's just it doesn't kind of register, and so we're in the middle of the new drug culture. I think that the next drug culture is going to have to be one of intellect. The next drug should be smartness. The next drug should be kindness. The next drug should be participating in the human race.
Dignity.
Because there's only one race, and that's the human race. And participation is mandatory. Otherwise you sucking up all my air.
And you can't start the next chapter if you keep rereading the last one.
There was a movie that came out in the 80s. It was, I think it was called Less Than Zero with, and I watched that movie again not too long ago, and it was just like, wow.
And this is this consistency. I like that.
Bleep, bleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the movie?
It just comes from this guy who was doing pretty well, started using a little bit, using a little more, and then next thing you know, he's out there turning tricks to get money for his habit, everything else, and his friends are all trying to get him to quit, and then they finally convinced him to go to rehab, and they're driving across country, and they realize that he passed away in the back of the car.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy.
And remember with that movie, they didn't want to show it because it was like bam, it was in your face, and they're like, no, let's do movies about nice and happy things, not what's really going on in the world.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, I did a movie, I think it was Leonardo DiCaprio's second film, and it was called The Basketball Diaries. And it's something you should check out. It was a guy John Carroll wrote. He was an addict, a basketball player, and Leonardo DiCaprio played him, and he did a wonderful job too. And so, one of those movies that you might want to see just to get, because sometimes it's hard to see yourself. You got to see it in somebody else. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes art imitating life. Sometimes sometimes the art is pretty cold. I mean, we got a little PSA we did, and when we play it, people kind of cringe because it's graphic. It's real. It is what
reality.
it is. It's reality.
Want a reality show? There you go.
There you go. And it's not what people want to see, and it's not what they want to think, but it is the truth, because there's all kinds of faces to this thing. We've had Dora join our show here, and she came on after coming out for years with the synthetic opioid addiction, Oxycontin or whatever it was. And here's the thing, guys. What she has found is that since she has come out from behind the curtain, she's receiving more love and more support and more well wishes than she had before that. You know what I mean? So there's that old saying that the truth will set you free. If you just say it and I fucked up. I mean, excuse me. Oops. I messed up. It's almost like having a car accident. I had an accident. I ran into some drugs. And now I got to recover from it. I gotta get my wounds taken care of. Okay. And then you go and get yourself all patched up and ready to go, and you'll find that there's a whole another chapter that you have to write. There's a whole nother thing that's left for you to do. Most of that is probably going to involve helping somebody else, because broken people can help broken people. You know, just like hurt people hurt people.
And healed people heal people.
Heal people heal people.
Supposed to heal people.
We're supposed to all be here to heal each other, folks. I mean, and that's just the bottom line on it. This is not something that I made up. This is just something that I've come to find out over the years. And so that's the other thing I want to say to you. It's like, you know, all the information I'm sharing with you is information that I've either gotten from my experience or from somebody else's experience that I've come across in the course of this recovery room and wanting to be a part of the solution and trying to help people. You know, been doing it. I've been immersed in it now for a long time, and so I don't know if it's something so great to know a lot about, but I know a lot about it.
The other day, one of my dear friends from high school sent me a message on my Facebook page saying, "Hey, look," she's like, "I watch a show, but," she goes, "I have this nephew of mine, and she goes, he needs help, but I don't know what to do for him." I'm like, "Well, what's the situation?" And he did a couple tours over in Afghanistan. Bomb went off, and he got really, really messed up. She's like, she's like, "Oh, what your show's about people who are using whatever else." I said, "Healing is healing." You know, she's like, "Well, he doesn't he doesn't, like me, he doesn't take the pain pill, doesn't do whatever." But she's like, "He needs someone to talk to." I'm like, "I don't care what it is. If you need someone to talk to, call us.
Yeah.
Call somebody."
Yeah. The healing is all the same.
Healing. A wound is a wound is a wound.
Yeah. Yeah. Pain is pain is pain.
They all bleed.
So if you're going through something, and you're like, "Oh, well, that show's not for me," because that's not what I'm dealing with.
Well, you know, and that's the thing about our PO Warriors, because we're doing some work with first responders, and see, people don't even understand the life of a first responder. I was an emergency medical technician for years, and I had to get out of it because it's so much. I mean, when you pull up and you see mangled people, or something, burnt people, or babies, or any of that kind of stuff, what you're going to run into in the course of your being an emergency medical technician or fireman, it's traumatic. I mean, it's traumatic, and there's so much post-traumatic stress that's involved, and we're reaching out to those people. So it doesn't matter whether you've been in Afghanistan or if you've been downtown Sarasota, and there's some we know we want to be there to be of support to you. Is basically what I'm saying. Everybody has their own level of pain, own experiences, but we all need each other, though. We need each other. We need to know that there's some people that care. That's what most people, just like Sean just said, "Oh, nobody really cares. I'm just saying nobody cares." No, that's not true. There are a lot of caring people out there. I know them. When I got involved with this opioid thing, that's how I got involved. I have so many organizations coming to me saying, "Oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that," and we put this coalition together, and there are a lot of people out there doing a lot of great things. Sober living facilities. There's just all kinds of things that are available. And so you guys check out our website, POWarriors.com. That's POWarriors.com. And then check out thehammockhaven.com. That's thehammockhaven.com. Those are two of our sponsors. 21 Sweet Treats out in St. Anna Marie Island. We're getting their website and stuff up for, but they got some good stuff, man. They got some good stuff. It's a nice little spot, intimate, quaint, and the owners, and all as organic
people.
As possible.
Yeah, every time they go, they come back with empty to-go boxes. I'm like, I thought I was gonna get some of that.
No, it just never makes it home. No. It just never makes it home. The stuff is really good, and so check them out if you're ever out at Anna Marie Islands. Find 421 Sweet Treats. They're right on the main drag, man.
Yes.
Drag,
So
man.
Well, here's my quote for the day. There will come a day when you realize you're not just a survivor, you're a warrior, and you're tougher than anything life throws your way.
Man.
So happy Monday.
Happy
Let's
Monday.
Get it rolling.
Yeah, make a decision.
Know that you didn't wake up to be mediocre or start your week
ain't
that
no
way,
mediocre.
So let's get it.
There ain't no mediocre. Who said that? T.I.?
T.I.
Ain't no mediocre. Sean, you got some final parting thoughts?
Yeah, actually, I was because Chris has been using my motorcycle helmet, and it reminded me of this thing that came out in the 70s. and I wear my helmet all the time when I ride. Bell came out with this promotional campaign thing. It was like, if you have a $50 head, wear a $50 helmet. For everybody else, wear a Bell.
Oh, that's sweet.
Well, that's not a Bell. I don't like Bell helmets, but the point is just take care of yourself.
Yeah, take care of yourself. There's only one you.
Yeah. And thankfully he's got a really, really nice helmet. I appreciate you letting me borrow.
Yeah. Head just ain't that hard.
your head's big and lopsided like mine. So.
Crackle.
This is all love.
Hey, listen, guys. Peace.
We love
This is the recovery room on Monday the 27th. Signing out. Peace.
Peace out, everybody. Be safe.
Love you.
To see if you were there waiting for me, but you were not. So I sailed back with a broken heart. I waited till 3 to see if you would come looking for me, but you did not. So I fell asleep with a broken heart.
I didn't know. Snorting that first line of Oxy would take me down this path.
Realistically though, that one's on me. That's free. Okay. But if you want to get some more, just bring a couple of dips, a couple of dollars, and we can work it out. Work out some stuff in trade. You know how that goes.
I didn't know that I would sell my body to support my habit.
So sorry, little one. Hardest thing I do.
No, I need your mom. I need her mom. Baby. No, mom. No, baby. No, mom, baby. No, no. My baby. I have to go to her. I have to go to her. No, Kathy, no. Get away from my car.
I didn't know that I would lose my baby. That she was born addicted and she never had a chance.
You don't need a car to show you how far you can go.
I'm floating, I'm rolling down the highway, I'm strolling. How much you got you holding? It's so hard to control it, but I like the high.
Mainlining heroin in a public restroom was not in my 5-year plan.
With the high took my friends, so I'm down with the call to the end. I will.
Hey, baby, what's up? Did you have a party here last night? Baby? Wake up. Baby? 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 Wake up. Wake up. Baby, baby. Marianne! Call 911! What's Marianne?
My baby!
Wake up! Get her 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 up! No!
I didn't know that last shot that it would kill me, but it did.
We didn't even know she was using. I don't know how we didn't see it. My baby. My baby's gone. My baby.
Today I may not have a thing at all.
Know the end before you begin.